Hey there, it's Lee. How you doing? Let's just see if people are rolling in. Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm gonna flip the camera. Hi. So I'm here at the DC Women's March. I've been here for like an hour. The really big crowd is behind me, and the crowd is gigantic. I gotta say, the crowd is very, very big. The city feels noticeably more populated than it did yesterday. And so let's just be clear about that. It's very big. For one thing, there were big giant buses bringing in people. And for another thing, the left is just better at getting organized. I don't know how else to put it. There's lots of people with signs. It's interesting. No, they're not protesting Sharia law. I've seen a few people in hijabs.
Get a picture of it. My mom loves it.
I don't know who. Sure, there's some. Sure, there's some good-looking ladies here. Sure. I don't know. Do we need to compare? Because there are plenty. If that's your question. They're protesting Donald Trump. It's a very pro-Hillary protest. I've seen, you know, there's pre-made signs that are ACLU. There you go. Hey, do you actually know anything about? I'm sorry. Hey, dude, what were you saying? I'm sorry, what were you saying? That's what's called a Nazi by the dude in the pussy hat right there.
Right, the American Nazi movement.
What do you know about the American Nazi movement? I hate Nazis. I also hate communists. Do you know why? Because they both kill people. Do you hate communists?
Yeah.
You do? How about the anarchists yesterday, the black bloc guys? You like them?
Yeah.
Okay. Of course you do.
Yeah.
There you go. Did you guys object to Russia when it was communist too?
Yeah.
You realize you're falling for Democratic talking points, right?
Yeah.
You know, he was
who do you think's on the right side in Syria? Who do you think's on the right side? You started yelling at me. You started yelling at me, right? I didn't yell at you. You started yelling at me, and now
you were taking our picture.
I wasn't taking your picture. I was aiming it at my own face. I wasn't taking your picture. It's a peaceful protest. You started yelling at me, but when I said something back, you ran like little chickens, because that's what you are, wearing your pussy hat.
You want to see a chicken? You want to see a chicken?
Do I want to see a chicken? Yeah, sure. Go ahead. I don't know what that means even. I don't think you know either. You're just kind of talking smack.
This is a fucking chicken.
That's a chicken, right.
And we're going to fucking cut his head off.
What's that? You're going to cut his head off?
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be great. That's going to be great. That's going to be great. I appreciate you saying that.
It's not a different
There we go. You're going to cut his head off. There we go.
Oh.
There you go. You can't win for losing. But I didn't say anything to them. I'm just sitting here doing this. They think I'm filming them. I'm not filming them. I'm filming me. But it's interesting, people seem to like their thing. There you go. I know, it's weird. I don't even look like I'm talking to anybody but me. That's what I think I look like I'm talking to. So anyway, big crowds, very bad cell service. I had to walk away a decent distance to get any kind of service at all. And I have 2 different carriers that I'm using. I think this needs filming me. I think this needs filming me. He's kind of walking away now, but I think he was filming. There we go. I know. Clearly Nazis. Okay, so that's what's going on. I think it was a pretty fair report, don't you? I just think I was out here telling you there's a lot of people. And suddenly some dude saying he wants to... I have no time to unblock you on Twitter. Send me an email to stranahan@gmail.com and I will get to it when I get to it. That's it. So, here's the point. There's a big crowd out here. It makes it hard to maneuver. It's hard to get food. And I think the other dude was out there. And yeah, it's fascinating. I'm taking general stuff. They're like standing there taking stuff from me, but whatever. I think the crowd is going to be big enough where there's a few thousand, my guess, is black bloc people who are still in town. There was one Starbucks that got the window smashed yesterday. I'm pretty sure it's reopened. They usually just board up those windows pretty quick. We tried to get to a Starbucks earlier and it was completely packed. Starbucks has this new, do you remember what it's called? The new latte? It's very good. It's very good. I got a short one. It's made with the heart of the cherry, the cherry part of the coffee bean. I don't really understand it, but it's very good. But anyway, you can't get one. So that's what's going on. I'm here covering stuff. I got to find the other people from Breitbart. I can't find them. People who don't like Starbucks, I don't understand. Brad, by the way, whatever, you may not like their politics. Starbucks is a great American company. Blah, blah, blah. I hate it. People take pride in like, I don't like Starbucks. Andrew Breitbart loves Starbucks. Just talk to Andrew, he's getting his order at Starbucks all the time. I refuse. It's a great American business. Where are you going to take? You're on a first date, you got a client you want to meet with, something like that. Where are you going to take them? Dunkin' Donuts? Come on. What's wrong with you? Of course you're not. Where are you going to take them? McDonald's? Right? You just want someplace casual you can go? Right? You want to study? You're going to go to Dunkin's? No one's ever said, you know, I want to write my novel, I'm going to go to Dunkin' Donuts. Whatever. You can like the coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. I don't. But whatever. But it's not a place to do business or to study or to do anything like that. It's not. It's just not. It's not a nice place to go. And I grew up in New England. I grew up, there were Dunkins everywhere. I've had my share. Why do you think I'm diabetic? I've had my share of donut holes. Yeah. So if you don't like Timmy Hortons, there you go, representing Canada. That's your opinion. If you like Dunkin', I don't criticize Dunkin' Donuts. If people say Dunkin' Donuts, I don't go ew. But people think it's like a badge of honor. I hate this. I'm sick of this. I'm going to say it again. Just because you don't like somebody's politics doesn't mean you need to dismiss everything that they do. This is the point. This is what the left does. I'm opposed to it. I'm opposed to it. And yeah, I don't care if you go there or not, but just don't dismiss everything and go, oh, well, they have bad coffee. Well, no. They don't have bad coffee. Starbucks is clearly an extremely successful business, and millions of people love their coffee. So act realistic. You just don't even act realistic when you do stuff like that. You can drink, if you had a blind taste test, you couldn't tell what's a conservative coffee and what's a liberal coffee. By the way, there's almost no conservative coffee. And by the way, do you know anything about Dunkin' Donuts politics? Because I don't really. I'm not convinced that they're somehow better. They're a big corporation. They typically. We live in a leftist society. What are you going to do? Yeah, no, it's not super expensive. It's super expensive compared to what? What are you paying for when you go to Starbucks? You're paying for a quality experience that wherever you go, you got a quality experience. I just don't understand it. Anyway.
Well, that's good. Now we only stand for
That's what companies deliver on. I don't have a boycott of Kellogg's.
Right, Montana.
I'm not hugely in favor of boycotts. I work for a company that's called for a boycott of Kellogg's. Furthermore, the Kellogg's Foundation, which is connected to Kellogg's, is one of the biggest institutional left funders. Starbucks is spending nowhere near the amount of money on political funding that the Kellogg's Corporation does. So I think there's an argument that can be made. No, the diet, someone's asking about the diet. Boy, that's really tricky. You don't even want to know what my blood sugar, I'll tell you what my blood sugar was, because full disclosure, it was 138 this morning. I really screwed myself last night by going out with a couple of friends and having Chinese food. Don't do that. Shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have done it. But here's the thing. It's a one-day reading. I didn't do a fasting either. I just was out, whatever. I'm not gonna freak myself out. People are still talking about Starbucks. I don't care if you like Starbucks or not. Acknowledge that it is a great, massively successful corporation, great in any business sense of the word. that created a new category of national upscale coffee shops that creates a solid brand experience wherever they are. There we go. George Soros is successful. Why would you argue with that? He's one of the richest people in the world. He is successful. So I don't have to go, George Soros is poor. No, yeah, he's very successful. And by the way, I don't know what he's successful at doing. He didn't create a brand that's an international iconic brand like Starbucks is. Starbucks is an international iconic American company. That's it. Right. I know. I do too. I do too, but I keeps it real. And so people were talking about that, and some people decide to make a big deal about the fact that Starbucks is a new latte. It's very good, so I thought I'd talk about it. Anyway, I'm going to go try to find people I work with. That's what I'm going to do. Love you guys. Bye for now.